This is your captain speaking. We are making our descent into Las Vegas McCarran Airport. On behalf of our crew, we'd like to thank you for flying MMA Junkie Airlines. Now please fasten your seatbelts and put your tray tables in your upright position because the descent is gonna be a little bit bumpy.
Alright, Junkie Nation, it's time to roll, baby, on MMA Junkie Radio with Gorgeous George and Gold. This is what we do and why we do it, baby. All night long, we rollin'! Yeah!
The MMA Junkie Radio revolution is upon us.
Can you dig it?
There's no escape. No escape. Through the vast frontier of cyberspace and through a sea of stars in outer space.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
We've solidified our combat communication stranglehold.
We are controlling transmission.
With the use of MMA Junkie Radio and SiriusXM satellite radio technology. MMA Junkie Radio. Commence transmission. Live from MMA Junkie Radio HQ in the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. Here are your hosts, Gorgeous George and Go.
From the fight capital of the world, inside the beautiful Mandalay Bay Racing Sportsbook, you are listening to the MMA Junkie Radio Show. I'm your host, Gorgeous George. With me, as always, is the devious and dastardly Goes, our co-host back east. Handling the producing duties, it's going to be Danny. Supposed to have an in-studio co-host, but this week's been a jinx week, so I don't know, man. No, I don't see the New York Badass sitting to my right.
But he's also on Team Late, right?
A little bit.
Yeah. He's Team Tardy.
Team Tardy?
Yeah, there's Team Late, Team Tardy.
Yeah, and Team Don't Give a Fuck.
Team Don't Give a Fuck was here yesterday. Amir Sadal, he's the captain of Team Late. And then
he
the
was also
captain
Team Don't Give a Fuck once.
Was he?
Yeah.
Team Tardy, who's the captain of that?
I was saying the best hand that Kevin Lee could have played is if he would have walked in today. And then when we say, you know, like, where were you? He goes, what? And he plays dumb, right? And then we go, you were supposed to come yesterday. And then he goes, you know. And then once he does that, I'm good with it, honestly, because I've messed up like that before where you just mess up a whole day.
Okay.
That's what I would have done. Or, of course, he could just be sitting back going, hey, man, I just didn't feel like showing up. How's that sound?
Back when we lived in the apartment, do you remember when I screwed up a whole day, New Year's Eve? Where I slept for 24 hours or 25 hours.
No.
Brad from Buffalo came out from California. This is one of the
in that apartment. Okay.
Yeah, this is one of the worst things I've ever done to someone. And I honestly did not mean it, and I think people who know me know that I wouldn't do this on purpose. But he came from California for New Year's Eve, and we were gonna all hit the strip.
Brad from Buffalo.
Yeah, but that week, one of our listeners, Howie from Austria, and P and all his Austrian friends showed up. And I don't know if you remember this, but like Monday through Friday,
wasn't one guy's name Stinky or something like that?
Stipe.
Stipe?
Yeah.
No, he had a friend. One of the six. It was Howie and 5 friends. It was 6 of them, but one of them had just like a name like Stinky. And
they had weird names,
okay.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure one of them was Stipe. And then Mentor was another one. Anyway, that whole week, I don't know if you remember, but we went out with them every night. We went to XS. We went to another club. And we were just drinking till really, really late. And then we would do the show and then sleep a little bit. So anyways, that was pretty bad. But come New Year's Eve, I went to get dog food right before I was going to go to the strip. And in the line, I almost passed out. And I go, whoa, something. Maybe I need to sleep a little bit or something. So when we got home, I went to sleep what was supposed to be for 30 minutes to an hour. And when I woke up kind of like this, ready to go. And at the time, my girlfriend, Jenny, I go, let's do this or whatever. And she goes, dude, because I go, it's 6 p.m. And she goes, yeah, the next day. And I slept through all of New Year's and most of the next day. And I never even got to go out. Brad ended up going out by himself. Jenny was mad at me. I think you were mad at me. I just slept a whole day.
Wow.
That's
kind of scary, actually.
Well, yeah, it's because of all the drinking and all the staying out late and all that. At the time. But, I mean, it was scary, but not too scary because at least I knew where it came from. It was 4 straight days of
But
doing
24
that.
hours?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever slept more than 12.
24 hours. Maybe it was in a coma.
I'm maybe 10, 12. I just don't think I can do more. What I can do, though, and I developed this habit in Brazil, it was actually some of the days where I felt the freshest. I would sleep 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'd wake up and go do a run on the beaches of Rio de Janeiro.
Ooh.
Some stretching, things like that. Handle a few things, and then I'd come back and sleep another 4. So I was sleeping 10, but in blocks of 6 and 4.
I kind of like that.
And I'm telling you, man, I felt really, really good. I wound up dropping 15 pounds. I was refreshed. Antonio was working on my face. And I didn't want to come back. You and Mark Lehman were kicking ass at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually Dan Stubb gave me the call. All right, listen, playtime's over. I was calling in I would sit back in my cousin's apartment. If you looked out the window, you could just see Baja de Tijuca Beach. And he, he's a dentist. He does well for himself. He had a maid. She would do some cooking and stuff like that. And I would just sit on his bed, and through the TV, I would actually, I guess I was Skyping in. What was I doing?
You were Skyping.
Skyping in? I was
No.
Skyping in.
You know what you were doing? Vonage. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Yeah. And I could actually see you guys on the screen, and we were putting out the show. I mean, you guys were handling everything. I was chiming in when needed, I guess. But, 6 weeks I was there.
Well, where I'm getting at with this was in the morning, my buddy Rodney, who was here for this New Year's Eve, we went out and we had a good time. Man, I was kind of a mess. Not like Kellen Winslow, you got to carry him out mess, but kind of a mess for me.
Mm-hmm.
And he sent me some videos, and I was like, holy shit. We had a rough night drinking, because you know how they do here, the waitresses, and they got us good before we even left.
Really?
And when we started doing the count and the looking at your receipts, we drank a lot. So when I was talking to Danny, I sent Danny a video. Danny, that was not a normal goes, right, that you witnessed?
You were holding yourself up with the chair, and you were still slightly drifting to like the left or the right.
I'll show you after
constantly.
So what we got together and we talked about was, how about if you can't do it today, maybe by Thursday, because that's Danny's last day. He's off on Friday. Why don't we come up with 5 New Year's resolutions, but realistic ones? Because I think what I've done in the past is I shoot too high and I fail, and now I want to kind of go with some realistic ones. Do you think you could do that by Thursday, or maybe even by...
Give me an example of a realistic one.
So in other words, like, I'm a fat guy for my size, right? And I think I should be somewhere around 155, right? But, yeah, I'm not going to make 155 in a year. So maybe what I would normally say is, like, shoot for 170, right? Welterweight or something. But what I think I would do is, how about 185, but stay there consistently, and then the next year go 185 to 155. Be a little bit more realistic, right? Something like that. I don't know.
Can you tell us what you weigh now, or?
I don't know. I don't even want to look. Well, I gotta be. I'd say probably like 202, because I had gotten down to about 196, I think.
Yeah.
When we started with Ulysses, I think I was 212.
All right, I know somebody who dropped healthy too, 75 pounds, and it involved exercise and nutrition adjustment. He did it in 6 months. So he may actually be on the floor right now, rolling around laughing at what you just said.
That's what I'm saying, though. I don't care. That's why I don't like to give resolutions. That's why I'm doing realistic. I don't give a shit what people say.
I think you could make 185 by March Madness.
Nah, see, that's why I don't even like doing resolutions with you, because you always try and change them from other people. I'm gonna do these for me. What I think,
I want to be on par
knowing
with
myself, what I can realistically do, and what I would be happy with. That's what I'm gonna do. I don't care what you say or what you think. This is what I think I'm gonna do. The same thing with you and Danny. Whatever you think is really, really, really realistic. Because knowing myself, because I could do that. Like 1 year I did 218, which was the biggest I had ever done. And Junkie Gathering, I got down to 174.
You had gotten to 218?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was 218 for a long time. And then I got down to like 174 for a Junkie Gathering or something like that.
Damn.
But it wasn't the type of
diet
the way I did it.
Hard work?
A little bit of everything. But like I said, it's not something that I know I would do year long, right? So to me, if I can make 174 doing all these crazy weird shit, I'm thinking I could probably make 185 but doing it right.
By December 31st.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, if I can get lower than that, great. But I want to at least be there, and then that'll be my new threshold of I never want to go over that, right, for this year. Then the next year I would say, okay,
Right.
here's my new one, and then when I get to that, I never want to go over that again. So I'm trying to be a little bit more realistic with, because I'm a lazy guy and a fat guy and a dumb guy, so I know I'm going to have slip-ups along the way. So I want to be more realistic this time.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll think of some by Thursday.
Yeah.
How
And then
about
we'll
this?
have the listeners give theirs as well.
How about this? So fight of the year.
Like a new water tower.
We're kind of doing, we're addressing it on the website as a whole, and everybody on the staff volunteered to promote a fighter who they thought were fighter of the year. Check it out. We really encourage you all to go in there and vote, because after you hear what each guy or gal had to say about each of the fighters that I'm about to name: Michael Bisping, Donald Cerrone, Cody Garbrandt, Max Holloway, Conor McGregor, Stipe Miocic, and Amanda Nunes. If you go all the way to the bottom, it's your chance to vote. And we have our voting system, and we'd like to know who you think is the fighter of the year. So check it out. That's a big article on the front page that I'd like you all to check out. Won't take you that long. I think you all know pretty much the stats that each party brings to the table, but I just wanted to encourage that. Another story that's tremendous that I can't wait to talk about, and we'll also take your calls. Brandon in Louisville's already on hold. Proteus from Ontario, Canada's on hold. Nick from Vancouver's already on hold. Khabib Nurmagomedov offered UFC contender Tony Ferguson an additional $200K to fight. Who does that?
Did I tell you my theory on that yesterday?
You did, yeah.
All right, here's what I think happens. I think someone in Russia probably told Khabib, look, we would really like for you to fight in Russia for the title.
Right.
But in order to do that, you got to get through this clown. So how about we just give you $200,000, offer this dude that money, get this fight underway because we know you're going to smash him, and then make that big fight here in Russia. That's what I think. Because $200,000, for one, I think didn't he get paid $100 in his last fight, Khabib?
Who? I don't know. Did he?
So I mean,
New York, do they release?
It's just not really making much sense.
New York might release. Let's see.
I mean, that's just too much money, right, for one guy to offer on his own.
Right. Yeah, you're right. It does look like it has a little bit of shade on it. As
Yeah.
far as
Well, not really.
not shade where you're clowning on someone. I'm talking about I didn't want to say shady because Jesus Christ, these are Russians. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
Support
Yeah.
from someone, right?
Oh yeah, no, there's a lot of I guess billionaires out there from the world of energy, oil,
because we've heard
that are involved in MMA.
Yeah, we've heard in mixed martial arts, like Saudi princesses, right? Like what they pay to have people go out and teach jiu-jitsu. Just a seminar. It's a lot more than what you would think it would be.
Right. Yeah.
So I could see something like that maybe going on. Or who knows? Maybe he just made that shit up. Right?
I mean, if he's got that kind of dough in his bank account, that's crazy. But you're right. Something like that sounds like a sponsor support. But still, man, he really, really he backed Ferguson into a corner. I wonder if that's the amount Ferguson needed. Did he just make that public? Like, that's behind the scenes. That's what Ferguson was asking for?
I don't think so.
Here are the payouts for UFC 205. Khabib Nurmagomedov made $57K, 26 to show, 26 to win, and a $5,000 Reebok sponsorship.
Right, and that's not on par with a number like 200,000.
Right. Why does it have Raquel Pennington's? Is that when she fought Tate? Yeah, it was, right?
In New York,
okay, yeah. Wow, Pennington makes as much as Khabib. Is that right?
It shouldn't be.
Yeah, okay. I don't even know if that we ever went over these. I think everyone just looked at McGregor's and said, God damn. McGregor made $3,590,000. It was $3.5 million to show. And he got a performance of the night. I guess the $90,000 was a win bonus. I don't know. Tyron Woodley made $590,000. He made $500,000 to show, so it must have been a $90,000 win bonus. Have you ever seen numbers like this? Eddie Alvarez, $500,000 to show, but he made $540,000 for the night.
Fights, though.
Oh, they're okay. This website's including the bonuses. Sorry. All right, just $3.5 million to show for McGregor. $500,000 for Tyron Woodley, $500,000 for Eddie Alvarez. Eddie Alvarez was champ too, so he got pay-per-view. So did Woodley, on top of the $500,000 to show. What the fuck? Did they make that much?
Dude,
Just
I'm
a
telling you,
show?
things are changing. And if you're an MMA fan, it's probably not going to go in your favor. As much as you want fighters to get paid and get their payday and go fighter, this is going to create a lot of shit. What you're seeing with Tony Ferguson and Khabib Nurmagomedov, you don't like that scenario, right? You want them to fight. Back in the day, that fight would have got
Well, the
made.
200,000 kind of makes me laugh.
Well, it does, but that ain't going to happen. But, okay, look. But you're going to have more scenarios like that where fighters are holding out because now they got a lot of dough they could sit on. Conor McGregor, not going to fight till whenever. He can do shit like that. Ronda Rousey can do shit like that. So if you're okay with that, with the best fights not being made, then okay. But right now, I mean, if these fighters keep getting paid that, you're going to see a lot of that. A lot of like what happens in boxing, right? You see two fighters that you just go, why aren't these guys fighting? They're the two best fighters. Why don't they fight? Because they got a lot of money. They don't have to do what the promoter tells them to do.
Edgar made 190 to show, 190 win bonus. Stephen Thompson made $350,000, $270,000 to show. Wow. And then they include the fight of the night and the Reebok. Weidman, $285,000. He made $275 to show. Joanna, $110 to show, $110 win bonus. Wow, man. I guess I just looked at Conor and just said, wow, and left it alone. But these are some big numbers that got thrown around from some of these other fighters. Good for them, but then you scroll all the way down and see that Khabib made 57. Where's he getting the 200K? You're right. There must be some support there. But I still thought it was a fascinating story. I'd never seen anything like that. I clicked on Junkie and it said, Khabib offers fellow UFC contender Tony Ferguson $200K to fight. He really, really wants to get that fight done. Yeah, I'm still baffled by the fact that Khabib said, I'm only fighting for a title next. And all of a sudden he's into Ferguson. With the fact that Conor is actually throwing out that he didn't mean 10 months. He just wanted to get through Christmas. And remember I told you guys, when he found out it was May, he made this face like, oh, I didn't know. Like, and I think he already started figuring out, geez, I wonder if I could squeeze something in March and still have 2 months before the birth of my girlfriend, or my girlfriend gives birth to our baby in May. I still think there might be a Conor fight before then, because if the baby's born in May, then what he said was he doesn't want her to stress out while he's in camp, right?
Yeah, but what's the
So
flip,
that
the
means
flip side
he's
is
probably just doing some light training. There is no fight booking yet. It almost sounds like he wouldn't be fighting till like July, like International Fight Week. I think after you have the kid is kind of when the man wants to be more present with his
right. Isn't that what
his
you
wife,
normally
his
hear?
girlfriend, his significant other. Yeah.
So, I don't know. To me, I think that would probably be the more important time, is to be there right after to help out.
You'd think so.
What do I know?
Yeah. Let's take some calls, and then at midway through the first hour, we'll take our breaks. We have an extra break now that we're going to be doing under a new format. So we'll be taking breaks at 30 and 45, and the bigger break will be at half past. So let's get to some phone calls, 866-522-2846 if you want to weigh in on this Khabib and Tony madness. You're right, Goes. I just want the fight to get made. If this is what it takes, cool.
You know what? I don't want the fight to get made.
Well, who do you want? I want Conor versus Khabib.
Yeah, I want Conor
in
versus
Russia.
Either one of those. That's my thing. I don't see why you're taking these two athletes who could both fight for a title.
You're right.
I don't want that to happen, but the UFC is going to make that happen.
Right.
There's no way around.
Well, here's
it.
why. Because Conor, I don't think, is just going to sit and say, give me all the 55 top contenders. Give me those guys. He's not going to say that. Let's take a break right now. We got to take a break right now.
Okay.
All right. Sorry, guys. Phone calls. Just wait. We'll get to you all.
You're next.
866-522-2846. There is still room to get in. Phil Baroni has just arrived. And we also got to talk to John Moraga, who will be fighting at UFC Fight Night 103. We'll be right back after this break.
One guy gave himself a nickname to score chicks, and the other is George. Together, they form MMA Junkie Radio. Now listen up and learn something, will ya?
All right, we're going to get right to it. John Moraga is going to be our guest here on the MMA Junkie Radio Show. John has a total of 21 fights in his career. He's 16-5. He's going to be fighting Sergio Pettis at UFC Fight Night 103. UFC Fight Night 103 takes place on January 15th. And it's in Phoenix, Arizona, his hometown. So it's going to be a huge fight for him. I imagine there'll be a lot of support there. He'll be taking on Sergio Pettis. Should be really, really good fight for these flyweights. He joins us now on MMA Junkie Radio. What's up, John? How you doing?
Doing good, guys. Thank you.
Awesome, man. Thanks for squeezing us in. I know you're in between workouts. We'll make it a quick one, but this fight with Sergio Pettis, man, great fight between you two guys in your hometown. So I believe that should be an advantage for you, support of friends, family, your team. That's awesome, man. That's a great place to be fighting for you at this point in your career.
Yeah, man, that's what I wanted.
Yeah, most definitely. You got Sergio Pettis ahead of you. He's also a veteran. He's also put in some time. This could be that type of springboard fight that can make a contender out of someone late in 2017, because it'll take this win, maybe one or two others, and then you get back into that title talk.
Yeah, well, for me, it's about fighting for my life right now. I'm coming off 2 losses, so you're going to see me fight for sure.
Mm-hmm. Why do you say fighting for your life, though? You mean more fighting for your career, your job, or?
Yeah, man, this is real to me. You know what I'm saying? I came from the streets. I did this to make a better living and provide for my kids, and I'm barely at the point where I really feel like I could get a win or a couple wins and actually start making some money that's show myself that I made a career out of this. So man, like, there's nothing left for me. I'm not if I get cut from the UFC, there ain't nothing else really in fighting for me. So I'm fighting for my life right here. This is everything. This is all in. I'm all in on this one.
Damn. John, do you think if you did get cut, are you saying like you would retire, or do you always feel like you'll get sucked back into street life? What are you telling us here?
No. I mean, just as far as fighting, yeah, man. I don't know. This thing is rough, man. I'm an old ass man already, or at least that's how I feel. I'm coming down to some of my last years. The body's, I've been through some years, man. Some training, so injuries. It's a rough game. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really, I'm barely. There ain't really any other opportunities. I don't think anybody else is really paying the money that we should be getting paid to go through what we go through. So I don't do this shit to be on posters. I don't do this to be on posters or interviews or fame, anything like that, man. Just let me provide for my family and that's it. But I don't really feel like the MMA business anywhere else is kind of. I don't know what else there would be for me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna make this happen.
You're 32 years old, but I believe that a lot of this also comes from the fact that you've wrestled all your life, so the body just can only take so much. Is that what you're saying? And it's been not just you fighting in the UFC since 2012. I believe you made your debut, or even your original debut in MMA in 2009. You're just saying this is lifelong combat that's taken its toll?
No, well, I mean, fighting in general, I don't go to the gym and play patty cake. I go in there and fight. I train to fight. We fight to train, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like we just fight on fight night, you know what I'm saying? So this is, waking up feeling like you got hit by a truck, taking your kids to school and just staying on it, grinding all the time. And, you know what I'm saying? There's only so long somebody's going to want to do that.
Right. All right. One last question here, and then I'll turn it over to Goes. We also have MMA veteran Phil Baroni in studio with us. Do you believe, in talking about this much pressure for you and everything, and by the way, I don't think you'd get cut even in a loss. I think you're one of the best 25ers out there regardless. But I guess if you're thinking of maybe that, this could be it, do you feel like you stacked enough paper that you can take some time and choose what your next career might be and not feel pressured, I guess?
I made a lot more money than I could have ever imagined doing before. But injuries put me out for a long time, man, and I haven't had as many fights, over the years. So you kind of got to stretch that money out. So I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I made a little bit of money, but not. I'm still going. I'm ready to get paid. So I'm looking to put on my best performance and get some of that win bonus money, get some performance bonus money, keep my career, and just it's in my hometown. I ain't going out like no punk in my hometown. Definitely ain't gonna be like my last fight. That's for damn sure. And
John, when you talk about the last two fights, was there one particular thing that you could point to that you could say, this is what I need to correct?
I mean, there was certain circumstances surrounding, the things that happened in my last fight. So, I mean, you just got to roll with the punches. That Benavidez fight, I got cracked pretty early. Can't really, he did his thing. The last fight, I just didn't pull the trigger. I don't really feel like I had, I kind of maybe jumped into camp a little too soon, didn't get enough sparring. I was out for a year and jumped right into camp. Didn't really get my sparring in that I needed, so I don't really feel like maybe I didn't prepare myself properly, but that's all excuses, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not really trying to look at the excuses or figure out what I need to fix. All I need to know is that I just had to be ready going into this one. So straight after my last fight, man, I was in the gym on Monday. I was so pissed off. It's been haunting me. I stay up late at night. I hate thinking about it, but I hate losing. And then I got sidetracked with a little bit of injuries, but I've pretty much been in the gym and trying to just be ready for whatever. And so now it's a moment of truth right now. I feel like I'm ready. I feel like short notice or not, I was preparing for this, so I'll be ready.
John, we've spoken to you plenty of times. George, I don't know if you agree. This is probably the most intense John Moraga we've ever spoken to.
Yeah, he came out of the gate, man, fighting for his life.
Well, I'll tell you right now. I've been there before. It comes down to you just got to win this next fight. You can't worry about the past. You can't worry about anything that happened in the past. Referees, judges, injuries, anything out of your control. All you can do now is focus on this fight and win this fight. Handle your business. Right now, it's time to take care of your business. You got to win this fight. That's it.
Exactly.
Simple as that. The past don't matter. What happened before, what happened next, don't matter. Just fight. That's it. You got to focus on that fight and win this fight. That's all that matters.
That's exactly right.
All right. You're good? All right. Well, listen, John, I know we'll keep it short because I know you're in between practices. You're coming down the home stretch. These are the tough ones, so get through this camp safely. We can't wait to see that show on Sunday night, January 15th out in Phoenix, Arizona, UFC Fight Night 103, you versus Sergio Pettis. Thanks for squeezing us in and making some time for us, man.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, we'll see you. John can be followed on Twitter at Chicano John. Give him a follow. Let him know you heard him on the at MMA Junkie Radio Show. Phil, welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
Living the dream.
Back from Thailand.
Yeah, back.
Looking fit and everything.
Good shape. Yep, stayed in shape.
Awesome. You were there for about 6 months, maybe?
About that.
Nice.
Something like that.
Okay. Are you back on holiday, going back to Thailand, or are you back for good now, or what's next for you?
I'm just cruising.
You're cruising?
Who knows, yeah.
Okay. Nice. All right. Well, Phil will be co-hosting here. If you have a question for him, holler at us, 866-522-2846. We're just discussing the latest news, recapping all the events from this past weekend, looking towards next weekend. Let me squeeze in some calls here, and then I definitely want to get your thoughts on Cody versus Cruz and Ronda versus Nunes. Let's start off with Brandon in Louisville. What's up, Brandon? How you doing?
Hey, guys. How's it going today?
Good, man.
Kind of pissed off. I thought I had some breaking news for you about Mike Goldberg, but it looks like it leaked out a little bit early last night. I'd been hearing word that he was going to follow Mauro Ranallo into the WWE, and I turned on Raw, and I guess everybody else heard too because the whole crowd was just chanting Goldberg, Goldberg.
Nice. Nice. He had us dangling.
That's a good one.
Real quick, I got Baroni over there and giggles. Nice. Real quick, just wrapping up the pay-per-view over the weekend. When I was in town for 182, Ghost pulled me aside and said, this Cody Garbrandt kid, I'm hearing good things about him. Let's put some money on him. And we did. And he won. I was like, really? How'd you know that? He's like, Team Alpha Male's been talking about him. He's legit. He's going to be the next big thing. And sure enough, he's a new champ. Mr. Baroni, I got a question for you, though, if you got a second.
Go ahead. I got a second.
I was real excited for you. You made the call out to get on the New York card, and I was real disappointed you didn't make it on there. I thought it'd been a hell of a fight. It'd been cool, with the New York Badass in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, that's what I was.
And I asked Ghost,
that's what I was training for. I had some word, but then things didn't work out. So, oh well.
I asked Ghost, you're close to Baroni. What's the deal? He says, look, I don't want to put it out there or anything, but Baroni's got to know. The UFC's not going to bring in some dude that got his ass kicked by a bunch of cheerleaders. What the fuck's he talking about, man?
He's referencing an old street fight story you told on our show.
Yeah, they were juiced up, jacked up Michigan State cheerleaders, buddy.
This is
all the dudes didn't make the football team. All the linemen that couldn't make the football team, but still wanted to get laid.
Who was it? Was it Marvin that was in studio the other day where we were talking about the uniqueness of the street fight stories, and the thing that was the most unique about Phil's street fight story was in the one that he told. He lost.
He lost.
A lot of fighters don't come on and tell that.
A lot of fighters don't tell the stories they lost, and Phil said, "Fuck it." He goes, "I'm gonna be honest with you. This happened, and it was hilarious. I couldn't believe it because I'm sitting there going, here comes the New York Badass. Watch this. Somewhere on the subway, 3 guys got laid out, and then he actually tells the cheerleader one. Good one. It was a good one.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Brandon, for the bit. Proteus, what's up, man?
Good morning, dudes, and the poet, Phil Baroni. How are you guys?
How are you?
Oh, doing fine. It's a little bit of a rainy day here up in Ontario, Canada, so we're trying to survive in this land of haters. But guys, I want to talk about just kind of going on what Brandon said with Cody Garbrandt and talk about the great performances that we had in that division this weekend. TJ Dillashaw and Cody Garbrandt both put on great performances in the octagon, and really, guys, saved that card because the Ronda didn't show up. She didn't really do much. They did the lion's share of the media. But, guys, I hear Cody Garbrandt asking for an instant rematch. He's like, oh, yeah, I'll give the instant rematch. Guys, why are we even talking about an instant rematch? I mean,
that's the right thing to do. Because that's the right thing to do. That's the right thing to do. He's the dominant champion. Dominic Cruz and a great fighter, and he deserves an instant rematch. But that's
let me ask you this, though. Is it the right thing for Dominic to do, though?
Dom Cruz?
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be on point this next fight.
So this fight would be made more as a tribute to the champion and the run that he had is what you're saying? Versus what Cody wants?
He deserves the fight. What does Cody want?
Cody wants Dominic. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Dominic deserves a fight.
Is, as soon
Dominic
as he
deserves
won,
a fight. Dominic was the world champion for a long time.
Right. But the confusing thing is, after the fight, he says, TJ Dillashaw, come get some motherfucker. So he kind of built that up, and so I guess we're a little confused. Like,
this new shit is crazy with this. So you just call someone out, you get that fight. This new thing with the new MMA thing.
Kind of.
It's
the rankings don't even make sense.
Yeah,
why are they even there?
I mean, that's the new gimmick. Just call people out. I would have had 1 million title fights already. You know what I mean? I just call dudes out. It makes no sense. The fight that should happen is Dominic Cruz. He's the defending champion. Defended the title a lot. There should be a rematch clause for a champion, like in other promotions, boxing, and that's what I think.
What do you think, Gus?
I think if I'm part of Dominic's camp, I say, hey, take some time. Let's get the strategy going for this next fight.
Right.
And heal up.
Yeah.
And maybe get one fight in between.
Yeah, I would capitalize and do the Dillashaw Garbrandt heat. And do that.
But what does that mean, the heat? You just called him out in the ring, that's heat?
No, but prior to that, Dillashaw used to be part of Team Alpha Male's camp.
Yeah, I know that.
And then he wound up leaving, and then,
Well, that's a good fight, too. That's a good fight, too. If Dom wants to rest up, recover, heal. But I think Dominic needs to be going.
Yeah.
He's had such a long layoff.
I have no problem with that.
I'm just saying, I think he needs to be in there. I think Dominic Cruz, the next time he fights, will be way better.
What I do disagree with was a lot of people were saying maybe it's the analyst work and Dominic hasn't been able to focus on fighting. But how could you say that when there's 4 fucking champions up on that panel?
Yeah, that's true.
They're analysts too.
That's true. All right, thank you, Proteus. I had to move on here. Nick in Vancouver, you're up next. What's up, Nick?
Hey, morning, guys. Phil, always a pleasure, man. I've been a big fan, whether you're on the show here or the original badass, fuck the original sportsman, man. It's fantastic to hear you on here.
Thank you.
On. I know you've been away, but always a pleasure because I like your breakdowns and shit. So I miss the truth.
So I know a little bit about fighting. I know a little bit about what goes on in the cage and shit. Thanks, man. I've had a couple of those fucking cage fights.
Hey, just to get your opinion on this too, because I know we talked about it a little bit on the program yesterday about Ronda, like being an entertainer like yourself and speaking the truth, but she chose to do nothing. But being an Olympian, she either got to pick the sportsman or being a big fan of like
whatever, man.
People change either way.
I think she goes with the heel. I think she likes being a heel. I think everyone was. I mean, what do I know? I don't know anything, but I have a feeling maybe that she embraced the heel and everybody and she did. She bent over backwards for the media all the time previously for all the other fights, and then she felt that the media turned on her. The MMA media turned on her.
But then we got nothing.
So fuck the MMA media. Yeah, what the fuck? If you could do that shit, then do it. That's strong. I don't fucking buy pay-per-views. I didn't feel like going to the strip. I always get tickets, but I bought the fucking pay-per-view. I wanted to see the fight. I don't buy fucking pay-per-views. I didn't give a fuck if she gave an interview or not. I wanted to see what she got. You know what I mean? What is she going to say? I trained really hard for this fight. I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm not worried about the last fight. What the fuck? Who cares? Everybody knows what you say. You know what I mean? That's the truth.
I like the way he simplifies things.
Yeah, that's the truth. I mean, that's the truth.
Well, for you, yeah, but
no,
there's a lot of
that's
fans
the well, I'm telling
the
fans.
hardcore.
I'm telling not the hardcore. That's a fact. I'm a fighter. You don't know. Fuck the MMA media. I did everything. I bent over backwards. I shadow box sexy. You know what I mean? I shadow box sexy for them for hours. I answer all the questions, and then you just shit on me.
But
whatever. You shit on me, and now fuck you. I'm that big of a star. I don't need to be in the whatever that is. I don't need to go to MMA Junkie. That's how big of a star she is.
Well,
but that's it. She don't need to go on. You know what I mean? Or Errol Hawani. Someone's like tweeting like she should go on Errol Hawani. No, she should go on Oprah or something. What the fuck, Errol Hawani?
But
you know what I mean?
I feel like okay. Let's say, what's a good number for pay-per-views for her? Let's just say what do you think? $1
million.
I would say if she makes $1 million and she's happy with it, then fine. I guess she could do her way.
Do you think anyone would have bought the pay-per-view more if she said some dumb?
I think so. Yeah.
Why?
It's the casual people, man. The people that just go, "What? Ronda Rousey's fighting?"
Yeah.
And they just have fucking $50 in their bank account. They go,
they didn't hear about it.
They didn't hear about it. And
they didn't hear about it. You say nobody heard about it because she didn't do the interviews.
It was on Friday.
Only hardcore fans listen to this show. Only hardcore fans listen to this show. Only hardcore fans listen to MMA fighting.
It was on a Friday.
Nobody.
I'm not saying she has to do
nobody
MMA
nobody who's not an MMA fan is listening to the show.
I'm not saying it has to be MMA.
And everyone who's an MMA fan knows Ronda Rousey is fighting.
They're competing with a lot of other content. So I think,
What?
Fight.
Bowl games.
Bowl games, stuff like that.
New Year's Eve.
Outside.
There's all kinds of shit that people could be
doing.
doing.
Didn't even know it was on Friday.
Yeah, a lot of people thought it was on Saturday. They didn't know it was on Friday. So if there's ever a time to go out and say, "Hey, watch my fight on Friday,"
she ain't worried about a bank account. She was
that's what I'm saying.
She wasn't fighting for the money that time. That just goes to prove it. She was there to fight. I give her even more respect for that. She wasn't out there trying to raise the pay-per-view numbers that I don't think would have been that much higher. I think that if she didn't do the press conferences and stuff, and it really would have mattered, Dana and those guys might have kind of McGregor her and took her off. You know what I mean? She ain't mentally ready. She don't want to do this part of the job. That's just my opinion. All right, that's my opinion.
All right, all right. We got to take a break. Nick, did you finish up?
I was just saying, like, I just wanted to see her continue playing the heel, like if that's.
I like her as a heel. I like her as a heel.
Grab the mic and tell everybody go fuck yourselves, right?
Yeah, that was my gimmick. That was my gimmick when I was in it. Yeah, it's the best.
All right, Nick, thanks for the call, man. We got to move on. You're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM Rush 93. Quick break. When we come back, we'll keep discussing this. This is interesting stuff. Phil coming with some venom.
I'm always strong, bro.
Coursing through those veins. We'll be right back.
They are the reason Donald Trump wants to build a wall. They are Gorgeous George and Goes, and this is MMA Junkie Radio.
All right, let me just go to the Facebook chat right quick. And a couple guys are talking. Jason Lupo, Gavin McCarran, about they wouldn't mind if Anik took over for where Goldberg left off. I would say that immediately that probably is a solution, except Dana White hinted that there may be another solution. I don't know if we call it a dream team.
And I know who it is.
Do you really?
Yeah, it got leaked out. You guys don't know already?
Jim Rome?
No.
But
from pro wrestling. Nope.
Max
Really? Nope. Jesse the Body Ventura.
Get out of here. All right.
Stupid.
Rhonda Swanson says, Rhonda's coach telling her she has hands when her judo, grappling, scrambling, and jiu-jitsu skills are her bread and butter. Okay. Nick Thompson says, do you guys pay guest fighters or guest speakers on your show? No, they do this out of the kindness of their dumb old hearts. Thanks,
don't give them any ideas either.
Thanks, Phil, for coming in.
Free coffee.
Yeah, free coffee. But no, thanks for asking about that, Nick. We really try a lot to get our guest fighters in here and other notables, Big John McCarthy, retired fighters. And hopefully you guys enjoy it. It's just a different angle. Like, I really enjoyed talking to Phil, even though he didn't let me get a word in. But I really enjoyed talking to Phil about
MMA media.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying when you're that big, it doesn't matter. Everybody knows about the fight. I'm not shitting on you guys. I'm just saying.
I know.
Everybody knows about people. Yeah, well, tear you down. That's the whole gimmick.
Okay, give me an example of how they shit on her.
They just talk shit about it when she lost.
I think that was the fans.
Everybody loved it.
I think it's the fans. I think it's social media that clowned her the most.
Yeah, social media.
I don't think the website.
I don't know.
Like I know.
Goes is talking mad shit. That's all I'm saying. I mean,
look, the only thing you can see is the same thing you see in any other sport. Like the other day, who was it? Ohio State. What were we saying? Ohio State devastated. Who'd they lose to? Clemson, right?
Yeah.
Clemson thumps Ohio State. Well, that's the same adjectives that are used.
It hurts your feelings.
So knocked out, blah blah blah. I think it's the social media that gets crushes her.
You get confused. You maybe get confused with it. You see something,
and then it gets lumped together because,
that's
like,
what I mean.
our website, we have a lot of people. They went to journalism school, right? There's other websites that can be put together with just people that go, I'm gonna write, and so it all gets lumped. That's MMA media, but it's kind of not. It's just somebody who has a website, and it all gets lumped together.
Yeah.
So if they do something dumb, it falls on us, right?
Yeah.
I will say this. Dana said that she'll have to do media in the future.
Saying is crazy.
The only reason I say that for this particular fight was because it was on Saturday. A lot, like you said, you're right. A lot of the hardcores, they're the ones that listen to this show.
They might not have known about it.
But the casual ones.
Yeah, probably the casual fans didn't know anybody and never heard about the fight. You're right.
That, and then the fact that there's a lot of bowl games, it's New Year's Eve. Like, people have shit to do, you know what I'm saying? So you want to grab a few people and just go, fuck it. We got to watch these two girls. Man, how many times have you seen two girls you don't even know square up on the street? And you go, hold on. I'm late to this, but I got to watch this shit. All it takes is for her to say one thing to a man.
I always try and make out
all
with
kinds
the
of
loser.
people do it.
What? I always try and make out with the loser.
Let's talk to Dan in Oregon. What's up, Dan?
What up, man? I don't know. I think Phil's got a lot of great points that he's bringing up.
Of course I do. Of course I do. Thanks.
Hardcores are the ones that are listening to this show. But let's talk about someone who does have some reach, like Joe Rogan. When John Jones came out, he went on his podcast to do his whole revealing thing because he knew that he's not going to antagonize him like Ariel will. But what is it? What got leaked yesterday, man? That freaking Nick Diaz is trying to not fight Robbie Lawler? That just sounds like nonsense to me. What are you guys thinking of this?
Man, I really wanted to see that fight. I guess Nick wants bigger fights. I just don't know that. I mean, Robbie Lawler's a pretty big fight. I define that as a pretty big fight. So what does he want? A title fight?
It's not a game for him.
He doesn't qualify for that.
It's not a game for him. He knocked him out in the first round. I mean, Robbie Lawler is awesome and he's a great fighter. But why fight Robbie? It's a dangerous fight. Robbie Lawler could put your lights out at any time. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That fight can go anywhere with Robbie Lawler any time. He's a dangerous dude.
Right.
So why fight him? That's not the biggest fight.
For Nick.
Yeah, it's not the big. There's bigger fights. So why fight the hardest fight?
Give me an example of a bigger fight.
I don't know. Anyone but Robbie
It can't
Lawler.
be Woodley because Woodley's the champ.
You can't fight Woodley? Why not?
Because he hasn't won like a fight since
do what
2011.
you want. The promoters could do what they want.
That's
Like
true.
forget the I like the new regime and the fact that just make the good fights because that's what made Pride so good. Saki Barra say this is a good fight. You know, Josh Barnett versus the big white Russian dude with the blonde hair.
Josh Barnett with Sergey
Caratano?
Caratano?
Yeah, Sergey, yeah. You know what I mean? Who cares who won the last fight? Who won the 2 fights before? That's a big, tough, rough dude, and so is that. I want to see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or these guys don't like each other, or whatever. Camps don't like each other. The whole top team.
But did you see what he did to Lawler? I mean, you don't think he could do that to Diaz?
He hit him with a right hit, and that can happen
That's
that
what
can
I'm
happen
saying.
any time.
But see,
Yeah, he can
Lawler and
sweep
Diaz have a little bit of history.
Yeah, and he won. So why would I want to go back to history? I don't want to fight Damon A. I mean, for what? I beat him already. I can't beat him worse.
I hear you.
It makes sense. You hear me?
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yeah.
You feel me?
I feel you. All right. Dan?
I don't know. I'm with Baroni, man.
Yeah,
If
I know.
This is the day of the super fight. Then let's make these goddamn super fights. man.
Like Pride.
Even
That's
when
why
our kids
Pride
are-
was so good. The UFC had the old regime, and Joe Silva ran the guys through, and they did the ranking things, blah, blah, blah. But there's a lot of stupid fights. You know what I mean? Matchups that were missed. A lot of good fights that could have taken place that were missed. You know?
And what happened to Mirko? Mirko got a medal, a belt, a trophy, a freaking 28,000 yen. Like, these guys are paying out them fighters.
Yeah,
man. That's what
I was off at that fight.
Which one?
Mirko.
You were?
Yeah.
At Ryzen?
Yeah, when I was training in Thailand, I'm like, yeah, right. You know how much? Well, I was like, yeah, right. And I was like, how much?
Man,
and then I was like, yeah, right.
King
Fuck
Mo,
that. Imagine
King
getting
Mo
left kick.
was winning that fight, too.
Yeah.
Shit. All right, Dan. Thanks for the call, buddy. All right, Marco, you'll start things off in the second hour. You're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM Rush 93. Give us a few minutes, and we'll start up over there. Just to answer a few more things here as we exit. Tony Ruppel says, oh, shit, Phil Baroni's in the house.
What's up?
Bob Taylor says, watching for, I don't know what he says. Pete Fogel says, what's for fighters to watch? You always put on a show. All right, folks, we'll be right back in, 4 minutes. Stick around.
Last night a little dancer came dancing to my door. Last night a little angel came pumping on my floor. She said, come baby, got a license for love. And if it expires, pray help from above. Because in the midnight hour, she cried love.
All right, here we go. It's the second hour of the MMA Junkie Radio Show. You can participate by chatting with us on Facebook or calling in at 866-522-2846. We got the New York badass Phil Baroni in studio with us, co-hosting. As animated as I've ever seen him, back from Thailand, feeling refreshed. Are you ready to take a fight? Sounds like that's been the chatter a little bit over the holidays, or
I'm done.
You are?
I'm going pro wrestling.
Pro wrestling?
Pro wrestling?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you still had some more fights left in you.
Nah.
No more MMA.
Too old.
Have you officially retired, or is this something you're telling us now?
If you give me big money. I'm not officially retiring on your show. Sorry, no.
Let's talk about
There's no money really.
Let's talk about Ryzen though.
Yeah.
So they did call.
Yeah.
Do you get those type of calls often?
Once in a while.
Yeah. If the money's right, you're flying there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all right, everybody, he's still available to fight.
Yeah.
Pay the man some money. But as far as unless people call you, you're not actively seeking.
Yeah, no.
Fight bookings.
Cool.
Got you. And you really talking pro wrestling, or?
I can't. TBS is getting in. I've been. We can't really talk about it right now.
Yeah, we've seen you pro wrestle over there at the Silverton.
Yeah.
That was a good time, huh?
Poster's over there.
Is it really?
Yeah, we keep it.
Can I see it?
Thanks.
Yeah.
That was cool. He walked out with Chuck Zito and John Fitch. Did you see your boy Fitch got a win?
Yeah.
Except he beat Shields, who you're also tight with,
Yeah,
right?
I'm friends with Shields.
Yeah, that was a good fight.
It was a good fight.
Good.
Hard fight.
Mm-hmm.
John Fitch fight. Like a good win. Good stamp on his.
He may retire.
Yeah, good stamp on his career.
Yeah.
He said that, but he just fought. I mean, he just fought 5 rounds. Got hit in the head a lot. I mean, whatever. You shouldn't interview guys after fights. You know what I mean?
Damn, Goes. That's cool that you kept that.
Yeah, thank you. Am I on there? Where am
So this was in June of 2015. Yeah, you're right there in the middle.
Right in the middle, right where I belong.
Disco Inferno, D'Lo Brown, and that's the Godfather.
And this is it's a TNA dude. What's his name? Kenny King.
Oh yeah.
There's a couple of guys that are like big time.
Let me see. The camera will capture that. There's a glare.
Yeah.
These lights aren't helping. But anyway, yeah, there you go. Unstoppable. We saw it. We went down there. They put on a good show. I remember there was these 2 big dudes.
These dudes.
The tag team.
Yeah.
Who were those guys?
This guy's one of them. And this guy.
They were really entertaining. Very cool. All right. Phil, what about the little monsters that you were mentoring or coaching?
Yeah, Kev Randall's team. I haven't been over there recently.
Yeah, you going to try and get back into that?
Yeah, probably. I'll just show up there and
I remember you really enjoyed that.
I really enjoyed it. Yeah, that's how I got it. I never thought about coaching, you know what I mean? I never liked. I don't want to be in the gym smelling people's feet all day, and I never liked going to the gym. You know what I mean? I just went to the gym to get paid, so I don't want to be around the gym. But the little kids was different. You show them something, they really try and I don't know. It's just different. I'm not ever around kids, so I never had that before. I never experienced that.
How's Marciano?
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Was he happy to see you?
Really happy.
Yeah. You walking him every day still?
Every day, Starbucks. Oh.
Hey, I want to ask you a question.
Phil will tweet
what
at
the hell is this?
I don't know, dude. That thing's in my yard.
This thing lives in his yard.
Really?
Yeah,
what
I
is
think
it?
the neighbors have it. I think it's the neighbors thing.
I don't know. It looks like some sort of a
2
lizard
pictures
and a turtle fucked.
It looks like a sloth or like a
It's
turtle that got
armadillo.
rid of his shell.
It's I think they have them here.
It's an armadillo?
Something like that. It could roll up or something. The dog
Phil
tries to get them every day.
will tweet at the oddest hours and say, taking this damn dog for a walk. So it sounds like it's a hassle for him, but actually it's probably one of the happiest parts of your day, isn't it?
Yeah. How sick that is.
There's nothing wrong with it at all.
Okay.
That's man's best friend.
All right, yeah.
I love walking our dog.
I stared at his asshole for about a quarter mile. What's ahead of me? I watched him take his shit, and I walked back.
A quarter of a mile? You got to go longer than that.
Yeah, but a quick one.
Yeah, all right.
That's the highlight of my day.
Tell us what happened this morning.
Oh, yeah. I went down to Mayweather's. I was there last night. Then I had everybody come down to spar to video it. You know, and it was looking for G's to the winners. So I won. Then I went to the MGM and doubled it. So I had 2 G's in my pocket.
Last night or this morning?
This morning.
Okay.
6:30 had to be there.
All right, and you
then boxed until like what time is it now? I just come.
Right now it's 11.
I just came. I didn't brush my hair.
Mm-hmm.
I showered, but I never.
So
brushed
what
my hair.
you had the
bleeding,
box?
I was bleeding. Yeah, box.
Yeah,
to the knockout.
How'd that go?
To the knockout.
Was that
one,
is that the
one
doghouse
round?
thing?
One round. Yeah, I was there last night. And they're like, oh. So I went today because I was out already. So fuck it.
That's what we watched on the other day.
And
that
I took my I'm gonna be on the next one. I took my I took my shit off and I had it in the car, the Muay Thai shorts, so they were making fun of me. And then I said, fuck it. So I know Jeff, and I took my shoes off, and I was no shoes in the dirty ass ring. You know what I mean? I'm the MMA dude with little ass shorts on, Muay Thai like little ones I had in the car. So
but it was boxing rules.
Only boxing, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah. And the dude, go easy, bow up, fucking. And I was bleeding, and they're like, oh, stop it. I'm like, no, fuck that. And I fucking got him. Body shot, gave him a little uppercut when he was down on the ground.
Really?
Yeah.
Very cool.
You'll see.
And you doubled the money.
And I went and I doubled it. I had to do that. That was part of the deal.
Good job.
Yeah, 2 hands. 2 hands. That's balls. 500. Whew. Stressed.
All right, let's talk to Marco in Waco, Texas. Then I'll read off some comments from the Facebook page. It's facebook.com/.
Oh, yeah, they were calling me
MMA
McGregor.
Junkie.
They know me, man. I used to be at Top Rank with those. I used to spar.
They were calling you McGregor over there?
Yeah, because I'm the white dude, and I took my shoes off. But anyway, when I first moved to Vegas, I used to go with Don House, who's the cut man, and spar at Top Rank Gym. You know, where all the pros at. There was a lot of tough dudes there. There's some videos out floating around about that. But what was my point? I forgot. Oh, Floyd's a beast. I'll go in there and spar 10 rounds and do a whole workout. Hit the bag 6 rounds. Not spar 10. Spar 6 rounds. Hit the bag 6 rounds. Jump rope 3 rounds. Shadow box 3 rounds. You know, speed bag, double M bag 3 rounds like that. The whole time I would do that, when I walk in the gym, he's jump roping. When I would leave the gym after a whole workout, 90 minutes, he was still jump roping. Talking, everybody laughing.
Yeah.
But that's when he was pretty boy Floyd.
Yeah, he's
that
a
guy's
phenom,
a
man.
beast.
Yeah.
Beast. Just don't get tired. Just keeps going. Unbelievable work ethic.
I hear you.
Beast.
Marco, what's going on, brother?
Welcome to Pasados and Phil Baroni.
Hey.
Hey, so I forgot that you guys were not live today, so by a couple of minutes, I put it in Chetstool Radio. Serious accent, what are you doing, man? That's a bunch of steaming pile of shit you put on radio replacing MMA Junkie, man. What the fuck?
What was it about? Overall sports or what?
Dude, I can listen to that in my FM radio. I saw Cavino and Rich was by it. I mean, Cuba Cavino and Rich is an agri compared to the pile of shit they put instead of you guys. It completely destroyed the concept of the whole station. And whatever, you know, we are loyal to you guys. So
well, thank you.
Watching to you guys
real fast, just because we're on topic. Danny, do you know what Barstool Sports is about? Is it about all sports, or are they specific to certain sports?
I have no idea.
I think it's about all.
I think I know about as much as you guys.
Yeah, because isn't the concept you're at a bar on a bar stool
just
watching
chatting about everything happening?
Yeah, I think that's supposed to be the idea.
You know, I guess I'll give them a listen on the way in. I was doing some other stuff on the way in today, but I used to listen to Cavino and Rich on the way in, and we'll see what they're all about. All right, continue, Marco.
Okay, real quick on Ryzen. What the fuck? Gabby Garcia for a geriatric old lady, man. What are you doing, Ryzen? What
she
the
almost
fuck?
fought twice that night.
I don't get it. You know what? If they're gonna pay her to fight, that's great. But I think there's other people Gabby Garcia could be fighting.
Yeah, I want that fight.
Probably.
I would push for that fight.
You want to fight Gabby Garcia?
She doesn't seem like she's getting better.
Smash
though.
that bitch.
Huh?
I would knock her out.
She doesn't
in the
seem like
first
she's
round.
getting better.
She sucks. I'll kill her.
Yeah, she's. I haven't been impressed.
I would mob her.
On all the
I'm
people
putting it
that
out there
are
too. Don't call me about Croak Up anymore. I want that bitch. I'll wreck her. Croak Up my ass.
Yeah. All the
Jerry
people
Miller and Croak Up. Croak Up. Fuck Croak Up. I want Garcia.
How about Kron Gracie?
Or Kron Gracie. I'll kill that little motherfucker. Nah, I like Gracie's. I don't want to fight with Gracie.
Yeah, all right.
Some other little motherfucker.
Marco?
All the people are throwing shade at Ronda, you know, the fans, I don't care, but Michael Venom Page, Chris Cyborg. Hey, Chris, you're in jail right now for PEDs. Amanda Nunes, you just knocked out the girl, man. And Michael Venom Page, you're in Bellator, dude. This guy in 48 seconds made more money than all three you combined in your whole careers. Stop the hate with the freaking Ronda. Let her go, man.
And that's the name of the game, money.
See you, Marco.
That's the name of the game, money. That's the name of the game, money. How much you make at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I finally saw that Travis Brown did come at Michael Venom Page for mocking. People get a snapshot of everything.
From Bellator?
He is a Bellator fighter, undefeated Bellator fighter out of London, and
he's talking shit.
He was kind of mimicking her dance, right, or whatever.
Well, he tried to make it look like a dance, but basically mimicking her stumbling around.
Yeah. So Travis Brown, Ronda's boyfriend,
smash that little dude.
Travis Brown?
Yeah.
Well, I that'd be a good fight.
I would just smash him right in the face if I seen him. He's a little, ain't he? He's a little.
Michael Venom Page? No, he's
pretty big.
What? How big?
6. Well, he fights at 170, so
yeah,
I'm
he's
sure
a little motherfucker.
6'1", 200 maybe.
Smash his face. I would just smash him if he was talking about my girl. That's what I would do. I would break his jaw.
So then Travis Brown put something up, and then he took it down. I don't know why. I guess
just sent a message. You listen, the guys put something up. Just put it out there. It don't need to be up there. Everybody wants to see it. The people that see it, see it. You know what I mean? If I put something up there,
have you taken down a message before?
A million times. Just fuck it. Put it up there. I say something pissed off, whatever, and I'm like, everyone don't need to see this. I said what I had to say, or I did it, whatever I had to do. Put it up. Fuck you. Who cares? I do what I want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do what I want.
So then why don't you just leave it up?
Why not? I wanted to take it down. I feel like it.
I told this guy the way he simplifies things. Okay, that does make sense.
Yeah, I don't want. If I fucking say something, go fuck your mother. I'm driving. I don't want it just floating in the universe forever. I just said it. Go fuck your mother. Let it float around. And now it's gone.
All right.
You know what I mean? It doesn't stay there.
So what if you say, "Hey, you that just made fun of my girlfriend.
I'm gonna smash your face when I see you. I'm gonna break your jaw."
But he's not hitting refresh. Going, I wonder what Phil Baroni's up to. You got to leave it up there.
He got it. Somebody told him.
Yeah.
Just like somebody told everybody in the world that Ronda was fighting. It didn't really matter about the press conference, in my opinion. What do I know? But that's what I think.
He probably did get it. You are
somebody
right.
Probably told you know about it.
Once it's up,
you know about it.
Yeah.
So now what? Now what? Now he goes and looks at my shit. Oh, see what?
Okay, but
even me. You see what he said? Oh, do you look? Oh, I don't see. He's not there.
A second ago, you went, "Who's Michael Venom Page?"
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. So
now
he may not know. He may not.
Now I remember who he is.
Tell us about Thailand overall.
It was
you
good.
Trained.
I trained every day.
I think
twice a day.
You actually were a wrestling trainer there as well, right?
I coached a little bit of wrestling. I coached a little bit of wrestling.
Yeah?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. How's the scene in Thailand coming along?
It's good. It's nice.
Good fighters, good camps?
Good camp, good gyms all over, a lot of good fighters.
Is it paradise down there?
It's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Great weather? Is it just too humid?
It's really nice. It's nice weather. If you like, if you're training twice a day, it keeps the body feeling good. The joints lubricated. You break your sweat real easy. I mean, I like it.
Muay Thai is still top dog, but is MMA catching up a little bit over there?
A little bit, yeah. People want to learn MMA. MMA is super popular right now.
But will it ever catch Muay Thai over there?
At certain gyms, it's already caught it.
Yeah?
Yeah, there's as many people training Muay Thai as there are, there's a lot of Thailand geek dudes that just go to Thailand. It's just, there's a lot of weird shit going on in Thailand. That's a weird fucking place. I mean, seriously, Vegas is weird. That's weird, too. That's a different weird.
You know how boxers in the beginning...
Everybody makes them believe they have no money and they're broke, and everybody tries to...
That's what they do here.
Yeah, I guess. But they lose it here. But I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. But I like it. I had a good experience. It was fun.
You know how boxers at first didn't really like MMA and they kind of didn't respect them, but it kind of caught up a little bit, and now they have a little bit of a respect. Does that same thing happen with Muay Thai and MMA over there? Like, do they look at the...
Yeah. I just got respect for all the MMA guys at Mayweather's just now.
Yeah?
I got caught and bleeding, but... Yeah. It happens over there. If you're a bitch and you go in there and you get kicked in the leg and you leave, you're a bitch. But just go in there and throw bombs. I spotted a lot of top guys there. A lot of the little smaller than me, the better guys. But I helped them get ready for fights. They have guys that are doing Kunlun, which is really huge in China.
What's it called?
Kunlun.
Huh.
It's huge. Like nobody knows about it over here, but it's huge. It's like Pride. They're all bigger, and they're paying guys a lot of money. They kickbox and fight MMA.
Oh, I think Dominique was telling us about that.
I sparred with two of the I trained and sparred with two of the best, and helped a lot. Coached two of the best Chinese dudes. They train at top team. One of them I was actually supposed to fight once. I pushed him in the press conference.
China's slinging some money around.
Yeah.
You know Dominic
I've
Robinson,
been talking to him
right?
a little bit. Maybe I'll get paid a lot and go. Yeah, Dominic was there when I was there.
He
was at
wants
the
to
same
fight
game.
out there too. He was
He was telling me about it. But I would want to go there and coach, maybe.
The dude you pushed at the press conference was there?
He was there, and I helped him train, and he tried to roll.
Was that the toothpick guy?
Yeah, the toothpick race.
I remember that.
And he just went as hard as he could for the first. He was pretty good on the ground, so they tried to trick me. I would have fucked him up standing. I would have knocked him out. But they're like, oh, he stinks on the ground. So when I rolled, and he just crazy like Chinese shit, almost got me in the lumbar. And I slammed him out of it, and I fucking put him in the fucking. They don't have the answer for this yet. Still, ready. When you want to slow somebody down, this is for all you kids at home. And they say don't do it because no, put him in the fucking can opener, settle his ass right down, crank that bitch, put your fucking elbows right here, and just pull his neck and put his chin in his fucking chest a little bit. And you're a fag if you think you can armbar you. Just put your knees in there, don't let him move. It just put it on him a little bit. You know what I mean? Like 15 minutes when I got out, he was about my height. Where after the match was over, his neck was like this long, was like this tall.
Like a giraffe?
Yeah, he stretched his neck out. You don't want to tap. That's what you do.
Did you hear about Khabib and Tony Ferguson?
Yeah, okay, let me say this. Look, Tony Ferguson, if somebody wants to fight you and they'll pay you $200,000 and you don't fight them, you're a bitch. Who cares if the UFC wants to fight you? I'll fight anybody right now for $200,000. I just fought at Mayweather's. I don't even know who I fought. The dude was tough as hell for a G. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So if someone, it doesn't matter if it's right or not, then you don't want to fight the cat. The cat, I know Khabib. I train with him. He's a monster. I train with AK. He's my friend. He's a beast. If I say, let's fight right now, you don't want to fight, you can make an excuse. Nah, I don't want to fight. But I say, all right, I'll give you fucking 200 G's. You gonna fight me or no? Right now, you want to fight? 200 G's?
Yeah.
Fuck it. Right?
Yeah.
What's the worst gonna happen? Another 200 G's.
Get knocked out.
Tap. Yeah. So what?
Yeah.
You definitely would get knocked out.
I would fight all three of you for 200
That's
Gs.
what I mean. So if the dude's gonna pay 200 G's, I don't know what he's making. That is the biggest call out. That's like the best call out ever.
Wait, let's go back to the fight though. You're knocking me out, or you
2
leg
seconds.
kicking me?
No,
to
just
death?
punch you in the
You're
face.
not gonna leg kick me? No,
I
I
can
just-
knock you out with
I
that
can't
too.
continue.
Tap.
Give me the 200 grand.
No, I gotta hurt you because it's 200 grand.
You don't play with
Why
your
is it gotta
play?
be like that,
I don't play
man?
that shit.
Really? Why can't we
I don't
grapple?
play that shit.
Why can't we
I gotta
grapple?
hurt you. No, I gotta
Can't you?
Yeah, you want to fight?
You know what
gotta
though?
hurt.
I'd rather get knocked out than
Like
get my
kick-
knee torn or something
Oh,
like
yeah,
that
yeah,
by
yeah.
a leg lock. Holy cap! When those guys go at it, that's pretty brutal as well.
I want another one.
So Khabib, folks, offered Tony Ferguson. I don't know how it's going to happen, but he offered.
It doesn't matter. The guy's got
$200,000.
money. Like the kid has the money. You know what I mean? He's not hurting for money. He doesn't fight for the money.
He really
He has
backed-
a lifestyle.
He backed Tony into a corner.
And he said, you're the guy, let's fight. You have to fight him. You have to fight him. And he's gully, supposedly, that kid. He's supposed to be street. If someone says, I'll beat your ass, you got to fight.
Mm-hmm.
I'll fight anyone that says that.
Mhm.
And if I say, I'll pay you 200 G's, you won't do it now? What does that mean?
You're scared.
That's what I think.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Maybe he accepts. I don't know. Who do you think's the fighter of the year? Let's get your thoughts on that.
I don't know. I think that was the best.
Well,
Everybody wants to talk about Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz. That was all. That was fun. That was great. The best MMA call out punk move, whatever, was that one. The biggest punk move in MMA right now
Khabib?
is 200 G's. Let's fight. No, okay. What can you say?
Well, who do you think's the fighter of the year?
That guy for that call out.
Well, that's 2017.
That's the biggest call out ever.
There hasn't been much going on in 2017.
Yeah, fuck. 200 G's is a fight.
Well, we've been discussing fighter of the year, and the names that are up there are Bisping, Cerrone, Garbrandt, Holloway, McGregor, Nunes, and Miocic. I think it's Stipe Miocic. How about you guys? Did you hear anything compelling from the writers?
I thought it was Bisping, but you swayed me. I think it is Miocic.
Yeah.
It's Miocic as far as accomplishments of what he's done and how well he's dominated everybody. But I mean, for the long haul, and Rockhold's my teammate and everything else. I want to say, but for the long haul, for just staying in there and never give it up and fucking, it's got to be Bisping. I mean, who would have ever pictured him to be the champion? That whatever year it was. What year was the last year?
2 weeks notice he took that fight.
Yeah. Everything. You know what I mean? That is. And it's not like he wasn't fighting all year. It wasn't one fight. You know what I mean? He didn't only have one fight.
He beat Anderson.
Yeah.
He beat Henderson.
Yeah.
And he beat Rockhold all in
I
1
mean,
year.
come on. I mean, it was really in a really close
I
fight.
have him
But
number
so
3.
what? Those are wars.
I have him number 3. I think Nunes is 2, and I think
You put
Miocic is
Nunes
1.
past him?
Yeah, because she beat an all-time
So
great
what?
in Ronda Rousey,
Misha.
and then she beat Misha Tate.
How can you
Both
compare?
very convincingly.
I mean, look, I don't know.
All right, how about
could
Miocic
how
versus
could you
Bisping?
compare? How could you compare those people who compared to who?
Right.
Compared to who?
I know.
Who
I'm
Mike
saying,
beat.
but
He beat
in the-
everybody.
Well, what stands out for me is just the balls that he had that he took that fight on.
Everything, yeah. Fuck it. He
I
got it.
probably have him at number 2.
I got him.
But
at
I
number
hear
one.
what you're
Big
saying.
balls.
with
We all
Amanda,
put, we all
it's
put,
big,
if all the guys put the balls on the scale and weighed it. They give it to Mike.
I mean, they paid him well, and who would turn that down too? Right?
Yeah.
Against
A
Rockhold?
lot of people
You think
a
so?
lot of people would turn that down. Rockhold's a monster.
Yeah.
Rockhold is super tough. He spars with DC and
He's a beast.
and Kane. He's an 85-pounder.
Yeah.
I remember when he was like I remember he was always super tough. He was a little kid. He's like a homegrown AKA guy. You know what I mean? He was only at AKA.
Yeah.
And I watched him get good. You know what I mean? And he's a monster. When I was in Pride, he was just there. You know.
On the front page, folks, of MMA Junkie, we kind of recap the years of Michael Bisping, Donald Cerrone, Cody Garbrandt, Max Holloway, Conor McGregor, Stipe Miocic, and Amanda Nunes. Each writer took a different fighter, and kind of made their pitch for Fight of the Year. So we ask that you check that out and then scroll all the way down to the bottom and vote. We'd like to see who you think is the Fighter of the Year for 2016. It's easy, and we'll tabulate all that and come up with our Fight of the Year very, very soon. So check that out. All right, Cody Garbrandt against Dominic Cruz. What did you think as the whole fight was taking place? Did that shock you?
I like Cody Garbrandt. I never really seen him before. Reminded me of me, like when he wanted to go through the thing and kill me. Like, you're right over there. It just reminded me that when I was a kid. That's how I was. You know, I mean, I compare myself to him. I was never. He's super tough though. Big range. I like his style. I like everything he says. What confused me is he was the exact opposite of me. He came out hardcore. He came out hard. You know what I mean? Was walkout and everything, and he came out hard, and then he started clowning. That's the one thing that I've never done. I don't like that clown. I just don't like. You know, like Shamrock does that. So some guys there. I like, if you're gonna be gully and you're gonna be street, just fucking kill him. Be hardcore the whole time. I don't like that shit. Just me, you know. I grew up like Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson would fucking smash your face, knock you out, and you know, walk away and be
Right.
Mike Tyson. He would never do like Sugar Ray Leonard shit. Do you know what I mean? That was never my style, you know. But everybody's their own. That's good. I mean, everybody remembers that, watching him do those little dance moves, whatever he did.
25 minutes, man. I couldn't believe it. He dominated Dominic Cruz from beginning to end. I thought maybe he could knock him out, and he did put him down.
Yeah.
But I didn't think over 25 minutes that he would beat Dominic Cruz the way he did. I thought if you told me the fight's going to go the distance, I'd say, oh, well, looks like Cruz defended again.
Who won the first 2 rounds before the knockdown?
Dude, so check this out. But
Who won the first 2 rounds before the knockdown? Because the knockdown changes the whole fight. But I mean, who do you think? Who'd you give the first 2 rounds to?
I had it 2-0 Garbrandt.
Okay.
But there was 2 judges that had 2 judges in every round that scored it for Cruz. Do you believe that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They were
But at
close.
the end of round 1, didn't we kind of look at each other and go, huh?
We
this
both
is
thought
close.
Garbrandt won round 1. Round 2 we thought was close. You may have even said Cruz. I think I stuck
said
with Garbrandt.
Cruz for round 2.
Well, this is the way it is, though, and this is what when it's super close. You got to favor towards the champion. That's why they say you got to beat the champion to take the belt. You can't just.
Why do you have to?
You got to, because he's the
That's just
fucking
the way it's
champion.
been.
It's so hard to be the champion.
Yeah, but that's
You gotta
not the
give
way
him-
it's. That's not
why
what's
not?
happening.
That's the way
That's
it
not
should
what's
be.
happening in MMA, though.
Because that's the way it should be. That's the way
But that's
it
not
is.
what's happening in MMA. In MMA, they're
Well,
saying
MMA is
who
stupid.
won the round is what they're saying.
Well, that's stupid. It should be.
I still feel like that.
If it's an even fight, if it's an even close fight, and it's Anderson,
This is the only
or
way
it's
it's ever
Dominic
gonna work.
Cruz. I'm just saying, it's Anderson, it's Dominic Cruz, it's Dan Henderson. You know what I mean? Even Bisping paid, you know, whatever. You give it to the fucking.
This is
Or
the
the
only way it's ever
champion,
gonna
or the
work, guys.
champion, you know?
The only way it's ever going to work is if you have one round, one fight, and at the end the judges go, boy, that was close. I'm going to keep it with the champion. But if you're asking for 10-9 after 5 minutes, that guy
you're
don't
wrong.
care who the champion is. He's turning in who he thought won the
No,
round.
you're wrong, because you're watching the round and you're going, huh, who won that round? It's very close. I'll give it to the champion.
I'll take it even. I'll take it a step further, George.
Oh, it's such a close round. Who won that motherfucker? I don't know. The champion.
Yeah, because you don't want to be. The judges don't want to be that guy that fucks
yeah,
up.
fuck the champion.
Yeah.
That's not
That's
happening.
the way
George,
it should happen.
it happens.
You got assholes.
When the fight
Hey,
starts,
who are the judges? What are they doing? Fucking, you know what I mean? What are they watching? Fucking boobs? What are they doing? These judges.
I'll go as
What
far
are
as
they
saying
watching?
this: when the fight starts,
Yeah.
it's already 10-9 for the champion.
You think the pendulum's slightly to the
I think
champion?
it's slightly to the champion already. When the fight even fucking starts, it's 10-9 the champ.
It should be. That's why you're the champion.
I think the champion gets enough of the benefit of if it's a draw, you go home with the belt. Even though
Yeah.
neither guy won. I
Hell
get that part.
I think it's
but-
getting away from that. It's a new generation, right? That are judging
That's
these fights.
stupid.
But,
That's
but
just
the
so
boxing
stupid.
generation was doing that for
That's
a
the
long
way
time.
it's supposed to be. That's just the way it is.
If it's a close
The-
round, give it to the champion.
The champion. That's how you have reigning champions.
Well, one way to get around that is to convincingly win rounds, is what I always say.
Like, you know, if I
convincingly beat someone, make the judge's job so easy that he goes 10-9, that guy.
I'll tell you one.
If he has to think about it, then yeah, you're right. You might fall into the hole, I'm going to side with the champion or whatever.
Woodley and Wonderboy, I bet you that happened. I bet you some of the judges where it was so close where they said, just go with the champ. It's a safe bet. Judges, they're human too. They do that shit. I'm telling you.
No, but
Before
that
the
should
fight
be-
even
that-
starts,
that should
I
be
don't
the
think
unspoken.
that,
That should be the unspoken rule.
it's the way it is.
Yes, well, maybe it's the unspoken. Yes, the way it is. It's the unspoken rule. Yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe. I don't know. I guess we'd have to ask a judge.
And if you go into a fight
I don't think
not
one
taking
will
that into
ever admit it
consideration,
either.
you're dumb.
Yeah.
Because
judge-
that's the way it is.
A judge will never admit that, but maybe that is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I'm
if
not,
it's
I'm not calling
close, you
guys
got to
crazy.
go towards the champion. I mean, that's just the way. That's just the way it is.
If it's close,
I mean, what about in the hometown decisions? Why do you think
Yes.
those happen? Because it's very close. Give it to the hometown guy.
but it's also easy to say that happened, and maybe it didn't happen.
No, but I'm just saying.
I
You
know,
understand what I'm saying?
I know.
How's that hometown decisions? Because it's a tie.
Because a lot of people
and
used
he
to
lives
say,
here.
A lot of people used to say, "Oh
I'm
my
gonna see him at the
God,
grocery store
Americans
tomorrow.
in Brazil, they're losing." Blah blah blah. I'm thinking, yeah, they kind of been getting their asses kicked too. So it wasn't just the judge going, "Oh my God, he's from Brazil." Blah blah blah. It's just something we kind of create.
But there's times where the hometown guy throws a punch that didn't really land, but the crowd goes nuts. And what does the judge think? Oh,
Yeah.
shit, that was a good punch.
And you know, you got to think too. Like the matchmakers
That's
aren't
true.
stupid. They're gonna put the guys in Brazil that are favored. You know what I mean? They're gonna make them more the favorites. Then we put the guys in America or in a home state, Ohio, New Jersey, Vegas. You know what I mean? New York guys. They're gonna give them a little bit of an advantage.
All right, one more question, and then we'll take a break. Phil Baroni, what do you think Ronda Rousey should do next?
Oh, whatever she wants.
Yeah.
Good for her. Whatever she wants. I mean, she can come back. She could go off into the sunset, have a family. Whatever she wants. She can go do movies, or she could come back and fight. Up to her.
Mm-hmm.
It's her choice, her life.
What did you think of the fight? Did you think it was going to go that way with Nunes starching her like that?
I heard about Nunes a long time ago from ATT. I heard how good she was. No, I didn't think so. I didn't think so.
I thought the fight would hit the ground at least once, and maybe Nunes would be tested there. Ronda came in great shape, but she just never got going. The minute she got hit the first time,
cracked.
right away, Ronda just started a little bit of the crumble, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It
I
was
wouldn't say the
unfortunate,
crumble.
man.
She was still trying to.
She
go
was,
forward.
but I think she was a step behind. Like, if you hear what the
When you
coach
get
is
hurt,
trying to
yeah, but
yell.
When you get hurt, though,
I
your
know.
reaction times will be a little off. Everything's to be off.
Right.
She got hurt right away.
Yeah.
She got hurt right away.
Definitely.
Boom.
Within 15 seconds.
Yeah, boom, and then you know, then the snowball starts going, man, and then the worm, you know, come on, going into that fight, the warm it out, you know, you got that warm it out. The warm it out made it what before the Holly Holm fight, there was no the warm it out was not there. She was 1,000%, but sometimes you lose, you know, the hard fight to come back from, you know, the hardest fight is the fight after a loss because you got that warm it out.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're gonna take this break. It's our only break of. Oh, sorry. Are we doing
No.
it?
Yeah, we gotta do.
We got to do our other stuff.
Gotta
All right,
do
so
more than that.
let's double up. Let's double up and get at least 5 minutes out of the
I'll
way.
get one more coffee.
You're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM Rush 93. We have Phil Baroni in the house co-hosting.
Tell your boss to reschedule that meeting. Call your wife and tell her lunch is off. It's time for more MMA Junkie Radio with Gorgeous George and Goes.
All right, we're coming down the home stretch of another fine edition of MMA Junkie Radio. By the way, if you're ever in town, come by and pay us a visit. Doors always open. Show starts at 10 a.m., ends at 12. We'd love to have you hang out, throw some headphones on, and chill with us. And if there's a break in the action, we can even have you come in and co-host a quick segment with us. Co-hosting today, though, is Phil Baroni, the New York badass, back from Thailand, cracking us up over here. Keeping
that song you were playing
keeping
too,
it 100 with us.
I thought you were playing that song for me. I used to take my clothes off for women for this morning. The song. This is my song.
Let's see here. I got asked by a listener, do you still have Super Bowl tickets hooked up?
Yes.
Yeah? Wow. For life?
Mm.
So the next one's in Houston. You going?
No, so.
Huh?
No, I move them.
Oh, okay.
Move them.
Okay.
Yeah. How do they? Who knew I had that? How would they know that?
A listener of ours.
How would they know that?
A listener of ours said that they heard you say it. I don't know if it was an interview or
yeah.
maybe one of your prior spots here on the Junkie Radio Show.
They saw on eBay.
I've never heard that before. I don't think he said it here.
No?
No, I didn't say it here. I never told them that, I don't think.
Really?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Maybe that's your hookup.
No. I gotta give him a shout out.
He's testing him, yeah. No, he's not a hooker. I know he's a listener because I know who he is. But, all right. Gavin McCarran thinks I'm lying. Says that I didn't run on the beaches of Rio de Janeiro. I did run, actually. Jesus Christ, Gavin. I mean, I'm not fucking 500 pounds. I'm a big cat, but
I saw him in his speed. It looks good.
I can run.
Good.
I can run, and I did, and it was great, man. The weather in Rio de Janeiro is really, really nice. So you're wrong, and he's talking about playing volleyball. We do play beach volleyball when we're down there. Can't do 2-on-2. It's almost impossible. 4-on-4 though, it's always really, really a great workout.
How do you do it? The soccer way or the regular way?
No, the regular way. But I've seen those guys play with the head and the shoulders and the knees, and those are amazing games as well. Josh Egel is asking about Sirius. All right, so the way we're connected with Sirius is, as of today, we're no longer live, but the show's available on demand at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and you can hear the replay of the show the next day at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. So
not live anymore 'cause of me.
We're still in your life. However, Facebook's been huge, and so has YouTube. Catch us live there, both hours. And as far as the commercial structure, because somebody was asking about commercials, whoever was saying you have a lot of commercials, I think you're probably a podcast listener, because for our radio show, I always felt we didn't have as many commercials as other shows.
No, we're on the lesser side.
Yeah, we have to commercial.
Stop being a hater, man.
7.5 minutes per hour, so I really don't think it's too bad. But again, if you're from the podcast world, I understand that Rogan and Corolla and those guys, they come on, they say stuff for about 10 minutes, and then boom, you don't hear from them again. Kind of doesn't work that way for us, but you got to pay the bills one way or another. Let's see here. As far as putting UFC 207 to bed, you said Ronda, whatever she wants to do, you're not offering an opinion or anything like that.
Whatever she wants, up to her. Her life, right?
What
do you think she cares what I say?
No.
Yeah,
well, what I meant was,
I have a good idea for her? I don't have a good idea. I haven't had a good idea in 20 years. I don't have a good idea.
What I meant was what you saw as a competitor and you knowing what she accomplished, and yes, she's probably wealthy. Should she come back, or you think she should stay off in the sunset?
Up to her. Does she want to just smash another chick and say, I don't know. Up to her. If she wants to fight in her soul, she doesn't have to. So that's a nice.
Did you hear about what happened with Cain Velasquez?
Yeah.
He wasn't able to fight against Fabricio Verdum. He did an interview with Brett Okamoto from ESPN. He confessed to having some problems with nerves in his legs, and it didn't feel like this was going to come back and haunt him, because what fighter shows up 100% healthy? They all have dings, they're all banged
Everybody's
up.
banged up.
And he passed physicals here, but in the end, the Nevada State Athletic Commission did not allow 2017, because I think the UFC is going to march on. I think Cain Velasquez either today or in a couple days is having a surgery. It's not going to keep him out too long, but in the meantime, I think Stipe's dance card will get filled with somebody else. I don't know if they'll preserve the Verdun matchup or
And
what
then
they're going
maybe
to do.
somebody else has a big win and is super impressive. You know what I mean? Anything could happen. So you got to take the fight when you take it.
I want to go back to rematches though. How many? Okay, you want to give Cruz a rematch, and that's based on he was a champ for a long time. He was dominant.
Just the way it goes.
But not every champ should get a rematch, right?
No.
Okay.
Long
running type champions.
Reigning champions, long running reign. Yeah. The way the
So
UFC
all
is
those
now,
should have got one against
the
McGregor?
way the yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm kind of on board.
I mean,
with
that's a
that.
crazy knockout and
with
everything else. Like, who wants to see that shit again? But enough people would want to see it again. I mean,
It's not like the fight's going to go the same way the second time.
Yeah. But Conor, what does he got? You know, that's like Nick Diaz. What does he got to gain for fighting Jose Aldo again? Yeah,
Well, he had a lot to gain by fighting Nate Diaz again.
Yeah.
Right? Now it's 1-1. Now the trilogy's huge.
More, because you lost and he had way more triple.
That's what
you
I'm saying.
lost. Yeah.
He lost.
Yeah, he didn't
and
lose.
he wanted
to
a
Jose Aldo.
rematch.
That's good for Jose Aldo, but who has all the cards right now?
Conor.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, so if Conor were to say, why should I give him a rematch? I beat him. It's the same reason Nate gave you a rematch. He beat you.
Yeah, because
why?
Because you're gonna give me a lot more money, so I'll rematch you too.
I think
there's nobody else because nobody else will get me paid. But you'll get me paid by rematching. Even though I beat you, I will rematch you because it's a money game.
Who do you think
At
Conor
the
will
end of the
fight
day,
next?
it's money. Who cares if he beats? I don't know. Who cares? You know.
Who do you want Conor to fight next?
I don't know. Can he make 45 again? Can he fight Aldo? Or can he fight Aldo at 55?
He had to give up
can
that
he fight
title?
Aldo at 55?
That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that'd be good. Then you just did it. You know what I mean? Then if you knock him out, you beat him again, just put that shit to bed. You know what I mean?
I think the biggest fight that can be made is Conor versus Nate. However, it seems like
money-wise, you think?
Yeah,
biggest.
It seems like number 2 is Khabib versus Conor.
I think he's gaining a lot of steam.
In Russia,
I think he's
that
catching up.
call-out thing was the best thing ever. I like that thing.
Habib?
Yeah, if I had 200,000, cash, I could just pay. I'll call everybody out. You have to fight. You have to fight. You have to fight. Call me a bitch. Call me names. I'll fight. You know what I mean? I've had a million fights. Just fight. Just fight for
You haven't
nothing.
told us
200,000. You gotta fight. You gotta fight. You can't say nothing. You gotta fight the guy. 200,000. Go to AKA and fight him. Come with your crew. You know what I mean? There's a room there. 200. He wants to fight you. I don't know. You gotta fight that fight. You gotta fight that fight.
You haven't told us a good street fight story lately. Anything go down in Thailand?
Yeah.
Yeah? What happened?
They run. I punch when they run.
Well, what happened?
You can't be punching dudes.
Set it up.
I don't want to get. I got a little time run. I'm gonna go back there maybe. I don't know. I gotta hold. I don't know.
Okay,
I left though. I'm home. I made it home.
Let's go back to the college days then. Yeah. Where'd you go? Central Michigan?
I went Hofstra, Nassau. I kept transferring. I get in trouble everywhere I went.
All right, so give me a good Hofstra fight then.
I was from New York. I live over there. I fight all the time.
Right, so give me a good fight from that area.
I just punch. What's the fight?
That's the story
what's
right
the fight?
there?
Well, this is the move. Ready? It's street. It's not about who's the better fighter.
Mm-hmm. No, but like
if I hit your guts, I fucking smash you. I never hit nobody.
I was walking along, and some guy said this, and what happened? Like
whatever. The
nautical
ball
mile.
pushed,
Anything go down at the nautical mile?
Yeah, I used to be a bouncer there.
Where was the name of the place?
Hudson and McCoy.
What was it?
Hudson and McCoy.
Hudson and McCoy.
Probably shouldn't say that, but anyway, yeah.
That was 20 years ago. You're not gonna get in trouble for that. All right, so you're at the Hudson and McCoy, and what? Some kids with their collars up come by and start trouble, or what?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so they wanted to get in.
Fight, stomp heads. I mean, how I fight is how I fight in a real fight. Knock you out and kick your face off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's no difference.
Did you enjoy that type of work?
No, I get paid. I rather get paid. I mean, it was whatever.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was prior to you fighting, though, right? Prior to you professionally fighting.
Yeah.
And then, how many years did you do at the Rhino?
1 year, and I got Pride, and I was fucked up.
Oh, that was it?
Yeah.
Was that cool? Was that a cool job?
Great job, man.
Were you a host or a bouncer?
I was a host. Looking super hot chicks, the hottest chicks, the hottest, dirtiest chicks.
Mir was your boss?
No, he was with me.
He was with you?
The same.
Who else? Anybody else? Just you two? Or any other fighters?
I don't want, Country, I think he was.
You see Heath Herring fought again?
Yeah. He didn't do too bad.
He should have got a third round.
I thought so too.
Yeah, they gave it to the other guy, and but Heath Herring, he hadn't fought in 8
Heath
years.
Herring's
Since
the man.
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, Heath Herring's the man. I like Heath Herring.
Yeah,
he's an OG dude.
And I like coming out with the hat and the trench coat.
Yeah,
man,
that's why it was funny to see Big Country in that too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's badass.
Japan lets you as an individual grow, right?
Yeah,
that's how you remember people.
Yeah, their persona, their image. You know what I mean?
That's one thing I've enjoyed: the production and the fans stick with you. Win or lose, just put on a show.
Just fight hard.
Yeah.
But not really, dude. I mean, the fans stick with you. If you lose a couple fights, get the fuck out of here. Get the next.
In North America.
No, in Japan too. Get the next fucking white dude. Get out of here. Get the next American dude. Fuck
I never felt that.
Come on, there's a lot of guys that come and gone. There's a lot of guys that came and got their ass kicked and left.
I mean, you only have.
They don't always get
spots.
a recommend. They don't always get another chance. You gotta bring something to the table. You gotta be somebody. You can't just fight hard. You gotta represent something, have something. There's gotta be something to you. You gotta connect with the fans.
True.
You know what I mean? Almost like pro wrestling. One thing I know is this though. If I would have known about pro wrestling, if I would have all the things I learned at pro wrestling, if I would have known that when I was fighting, I would have been way more over. I didn't know.
More over the top or over
no,
with the fans?
over with the fans. Over.
You don't think you were over with the fans?
Of course, I was super over, but I would have been way more over. Just little things that I learned from pro wrestling. The whole business is about getting over. It's a fake. Everybody knows it. Nobody thinks it's real. And just being over. You learned a lot.
All right, we're going to take our last break. You're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM Rush 93. Give us a few minutes, and then we'll come back and close up shop.
They're the OGs of MMA radio. Their mantles are littered with awards. Their guest lists are so grand that I can't do it. This is ridiculous. Here they are, Goes and George. Get real.
Gavin McGarren says, huge fan of Baroni. Please ask Baroni why the fight with Schilling never happened. I got
he
blocked.
Out. He punked out.
He says he got blocked by Schilling on Twitter.
He blocked me too. He sucks. I'll smash that dude.
That was gonna happen in Bellator, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's a boss.
No chance of it happening?
Nah, fuck that. I'm done. Fuck that guy. He doesn't deserve a fight with me. He's accomplished zero. He's accomplished zero.
Nick Thompson says, according to Tony Ferguson in an interview he made a while ago before he fought RDA, he said Khabib has been ducking him multiple times, and Khabib kept saying he was injured. Well, Khabib was injured.
Maybe he was
but I don't know what the timeline is.
It doesn't seem like Khabib to duck anyone.
Yeah. Robert Vasquez, what's up, man? He's giving us a shout-out. We're shouting him back. Robert Vasquez says, hey, Phil, it's Long Island Rob.
Hey, what's up, man?
Saying hello to you. Yes. Ricky Scott, I think Cruz should fight Assunção. How do you guys feel about that? I like that. That means Dillashaw versus Garbrandt, Cruz versus Assunção. I'm down with that. Darius from Poland says, Happy New Year to all. Happy New Year to you, Darius, and everybody else that's listening. Let's see here. Quentin Griffin, Phil, has always been one of my favorite fighters because he always came to put on a show and to win. He didn't come to lay and pray or eke out a decision.
Thank you. Somebody watch my fights.
Yeah. Let's see here. I think that's it for Facebook. It's hard to kind of scan it real fast and get it all out there. But anyway, thank you all to listening. Albert Achuleta, Ray Gomez, thanks for chiming in. We'll always keep an eye on this Facebook chat. It's difficult to juggle everything. But anyway, guys, we have just a few minutes left. I'm hoping this fight gets made, $200,000 or not. I just want to see it at this point until I hear. If Conor says he's back in, then I'd rather not see these guys fight, and I'd rather just see Conor versus Khabib.
Yeah, I want to see them both fight for a belt.
Or Conor versus Woodley is also being talked about, although Woodley's now talking about fighting Bisping. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay. Woodley
He
said
just
180.
He just sized them up.
Why 180?
I don't know. It's stupid.
185, right?
It was
Two
just
titles.
if he sized them up.
He did.
He sized them up.
Yes.
And he thought he could beat him. I don't know why he would want to just fight him at 180. Just fight him.
Okay, but when you said size them up, you meant physically.
Just size them up.
All right, here's what's happening.
Watched his fights and thought in his mind,
yes,
I could beat Mike Bisping.
Okay, so
and he called him out.
We'll finish.
So if I was Mike Bisping, I'm fighting you.
Right.
I'm fighting you at 185. Let's go now.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? But it's got to be worth it for him to. You just say, go, who are you? Because Mike Bisping is Mike Bisping. Who are you, dude? Scram. Or you can fight him.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's up to him.
Earlier we
if
talked
he wants
about
to give him the fight,
Garbrandt and Aldo.
But if he wants to give him the fight,
yeah.
Who has everything to gain or lose by that fight? Why
Woodley has everything to gain.
Yeah, why would Bisping fight him? Fight him right there.
Yeah.
Right now, let's fight. All right, we'll fight. Bam, let's fight. I mean, that's how I do it. It's different, but.
Well, so check it out. Earlier we were talking about Garbrandt and Aldo, and I just think it's too early for Garbrandt to be talking about Aldo. Aldo's talking about
Just won the title.
Khabib. Right. But what's happening here, guys, is he said sizing him up. I'm saying yes, but I think what he's doing is sizing up the potential of the matchup. He's planting a seed.
So it's a big fight
so
for
that
him.
in a year or two, we can circle back to it.
Yeah.
But it's a feel-out process. Let's
Lay
see
the foundation.
Let's see what Twitter thinks. Exactly. Lay the foundation. See what Twitter thinks. Let's see what the fans think. Let's see what the matchmaker thinks. These super fights, everyone's starting to lay the groundwork. You throw it out there. And what it reminds me of is in pro soccer when people go, Ronaldo's always thought about moving back to Manchester United, and it gets people talking. Maybe it gets Ronaldo a raise at Real Madrid, or maybe eventually Man U starts to say, well, what kind of money, what kind of package can we put together for the fighters, for the players so that he can come over. And most of the time, like Howie D has told us, there's been a study. All those rumors, I think 25% come true. But it's all just rumors. It's news. People keeping their name out in the limelight.
But fighting's a different kind of sport. Who knows what Mike Bisping or this kid's going to be doing in a year or two from now? Who says they could be champion? Who says they're not going to be injured? You got to fight now. It's hard to build up UFC fights. It's super hard to build up UFC fights. That's why guys like Dominic Cruz and Jose Aldo, what they've accomplished is just amazing. Matt Hughes been able to win consistently like that. It just doesn't happen. It's just such a hard sport to be that dominant.
We got 1 minute left. Yeah. This is real important. How close did you come to fighting at MSG? Because I know you have Dana's number. Did that even get considered? No? Damn. Because I heard they're going to be in Long Island this year.
Yeah. That's the Coliseum.
That's where he's from.
Yeah, that's where I'm from. I went to college, right? In the same campus. Oh, interesting, huh?
Anyway,
maybe.
Thanks for stopping by and co-hosting, man. Congrats on the money you doubled up.
Yeah, thanks.
Phil's always doing his thing here in Las Vegas. You can follow Phil on Twitter at Phil Baroni. And thanks to John Moraga for his time, at Chicano John for him, at Phil Baroni for Baroni. Danny and Goes did a great job. I took it to another level. I was fantastic. We'll be here tomorrow again to produce another show of MMA Junkie Radio. I'm not sure if we'll have a co-host or not, but we will definitely be doing our thing here. So tune in at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, Facebook.com/official MMA Junkie, or YouTube.com/MMA Junkie video. Shout out to Showtime, hanging out here in the studio. Always great to see him. Shout out to the USC Trojans as well, and Man United. The rest of you go out there and be champions.
Yeah.